going down the line, package visibility is probably the biggest change in Android, and probably going to be the one that has a lot of people scratching their heads because really it is a big new thing. The purpose of this is that your application or other applications serve a purpose on that device. Maybe that application's for opening PDFs, maybe it's for opening pictures, maybe it's for editing pictures or video. So really it should only expect that type of data from other applications. Really, your application shouldn't be seen by other apps that don't do those actions or don't really relate to your app in any way. You should only be really seen by applications that, you have some kind of custom intent or action associated with. So Android has implemented this thing called package visibility. For those of you who are kind of scratching your head and saying, oh, this kind of sounds like just intents, it sounds like kind of like a lot of the stuff that's in Android manifest. It really is. But what's interesting is it's a new way that's basically forcing developers to kind of create queries or data types that they're expecting their app to handle and kind of specify why they're doing that. Why is that great? Well, from a security perspective, is it gonna enhance things? Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because it's really forcing developers to go back and audit their application's use purposes and why they're doing certain things, and really making declarations of why does this have to happen? Why do I take this data? What type of app am I? What type of app am I actually trying to be in the marketplace or on your device? And maybe not getting access to things it shouldn't. Limiting the apps that your app sees and other apps that can see your app is a good thing because there are applications on the App Store today that will launch, query for the list of apps on your device, and send it back to a backend. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? It's definitely a privacy issue in most cases, and it's something to be aware of. With that said, some apps should always see all of the apps on the device, and there's some apps that should see your app if you're an app developer. And in general, the case for all apps seeing your app might be something like a browser app, P2P app where it's like peer-to-peer sharing, MDM apps, or accessibility apps. And those applications will have to use this permission called query all packages. So if you're, again, vetting mobile apps, be aware query all packages might be a permission that an application really shouldn't have in their applications if they're one of those type of launcher apps or something like that. That list is probably going to grow a little bit or change because right now it's still early. Android 11 isn't out yet, but we'll see how that really affects apps. The other end of that is your application should be seen by certain types of apps. The keyboard apps or the input editor apps, the app that installed your app, other apps that you actually have a connection with. Maybe you're signed by the same type of app, and those are your apps. But not only that, your apps share content providers between other apps. Your apps serve, services and bind notifications and start services between apps, and those apps will see your application still, and those will be automatic. So be aware of that. And again, you'll create these custom queries in the background for this. And again, this is still new. This is all stuff that's still being baked in to the documentation on the Android site right now. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes, what requirements will come with it. I would be very surprised if Android 12 made it a requirement that all apps have some package visibility process built in. So be aware of that because this might be a big change for your app, not in 13 months or 12 months or whenever you're watching this, of November 2021. But in November 2022, when Android S comes out, that might be the thing that really impacts you. So, start thinking about it. Start thinking about how this should be used because it really is going to be a major change for a lot of apps, especially those that really haven't had a lockdown on their privacy processes.